FA Cup preview, Ed Hull, Gav Matt, we are the fans, 2 up top. I can't wait for the FA Cup this weekend. I cannot wait.
Oh, I love FA Cup football. It fills my soul. Like, I'm 32 now, okay? But when I was a kid, FA Cup final day in particular, you get up 9 o'clock in the morning, and then like coverage starts around like 11 o'clock. You see the coaches going into Wembley Way and that sort of stuff. It's like, yes, it's the day. I couldn't care less who's in the final most of the times. I just want to watch.
It's an event. It seems like it's always sunny at the final.
It always is. Saturday afternoon, middle of May. Beautiful day, beautiful day. But can Cobblers get there?
I mean, I'll tell you where it's not sunny. January in Northampton.
Oh God, my fingers are falling off.
But regardless, Northampton Town are playing Derby County. They're the last League 2 side in the competition, the lowest ranked side in the competition, playing Wayne Rooney's Derby here, Sixfield Stadium, on a Friday night under the floodlights.
Under the lights. It's like Anfield under the lights.
I know it is. Oh, yeah.
Hey, that's the saying. Hey, look, everyone knows. I got my bruised banana here. Everyone knows I'm not a Liverpool fan. But the thing is, it's always about playing like during the week, midweek night or a weekend night, whatever night it is, under the lights.
Yeah.
And how much of an effect that can have on your club. And you know what? I've got a cheeky feeling. Like Cobblers, they're 6th in League 2 at the moment, so they're inside the playoff positions. But I've got a sneaky feeling they might do one, you know.
I think Northampton will want it more, considering Derby's got all the situation happening with the points deduction. But I just feel like Northampton will be more up for this. Granted, I think Wayne Rooney will be playing based on his game time.
Oh, you think he will?
I think he will play because he's an assistant manager and his chance to be on, because it's going to be a televised game, more people are going to be watching this, finish work Friday night.
Yeah.
It just seems like a Wayne Rooney moment. If he doesn't start, he'll certainly play.
Yeah, I think he might get a little bit of game time. For Dane Oliver, he's a player I really do like. I saw him a lot in the pre-season in particular. I haven't been down to the Cobblers much this year, but when he's played, he looks strong. He looks like he'll be able to be a bit of a handful. I thought he was younger than he actually is. He's like 27 or something like that. I thought he was about 22. I thought, might be a chance to get yourself into a...
Make a name for yourself.
Yeah,
it's like the Lingard effect, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's coming
Lingard's
through.
48.
Yeah, it's coming through. He's a young lad. But no, I honestly think that Cobblers might be able to do a little job here tomorrow.
So you're saying Cobblers?
Yeah, a little cheeky 2-1.
I'll tell you what, the FA Cup pride of me says Cobblers as well. I'm going to go with Cobblers.
What's
our next game?
Well, there's another game going on tomorrow night as well. That's QPR versus Sheffield Wednesday.
Sheffield Wednesday.
I don't really like when 2 championship teams play against each other.
Yeah, of course. I get that because you want as many of them in the competition as possible. In the latter stages. But QPR, I'm going to go with QPR at home, purely based on the fact that Sheffield's really pushing for that promotion to the Premier League.
That's right, they're only 4 points adrift from the playoff positions, but I think they might try and use tomorrow as an opportunity for momentum. So it's like, you know what, we're going to put a strong side out. You know, Barry Bannon will get a bit of game time. Yeah. Andy Vyman's knocking around there as well. So like, I was thinking, you know what, let's go get a win. Let's go beat QPR. QPR don't deserve to be in the fourth round because they never win third round games. It's the first time in about 20 odd years that they've won a third round game. So I'm going to go Sheffield Wednesday on that one.
Well, I'm going to go QPR on that one.
Ooh,
but we'll see what
confliction.
I'll never talk again. But let's go to the Saturday now. I mean, let's probably start with with our bigger teams.
Yeah, so we've got a Premier League game, a Premier League derby, if you want to call it that. It's Burnley versus Norwich. Now, Burnley are 13th in the league.
Just beat Man United away 2-0.
Just beat Man United away 2-0 as well, which is very interesting. You'll be able to listen back on the podcast for that on Tour at Tops, available on Spotify and Apple Music.
Oh yeah, we'll just
plug that. Norwich, bottom of the league. They really need to focus on doing.
Norwich won't care about this. Norwich know fully well they're not going to win the FA Cup. They're going to be under no illusion they're going to win the FA Cup. Their only priority, as you said, is staying in the Premier League. Burnley, they're still in a relegation battle, despite the fact that we're like, oh, Burnley, they'll stay up. You can't crack Burnley. They're still in a relegation battle. So I'm going to go with Burnley on this one, but I don't think either side would be bothered if they lost.
I think both teams will feel quite weak in size. I've got a feeling it might end up in a draw, which is something that neither team would want, especially with fixture congestion. Another big game tomorrow at 3 o'clock games is Southampton versus Spurs. Huge game.
Do you think Mourinho cares enough? I mean, I know Mourinho's a serial winner. He'll want a trophy in his cabinet to show I'm here. I've not got the signings, but even though they've not been great of late, I was having a look at the table. They're still 6 points off fourth. If Mourinho could say, I've come in, I've inherited Pochettino's squad, and I've still finished fourth, he would love that.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're constantly going into this debate of what do you prioritise. This really shows where people are at with the FA Cup at the moment.
It really does, but the thing is, it's goals that are being leaked by Tottenham. Lloris is back, but I doubt he'll play tomorrow because he's not the goalkeeper. But at the same time, he only had his first game back against Norwich during the week. So they've only kept one clean sheet since the 7th of December, and that was against Watford. That was the game that you guys were at, actually, the wearethefansTV guys. And then Southampton, 6 wins out of their last 8 games.
Well, they just won 2-0 away at Crystal Palace. Nathan Redmond, wow.
What a slap.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
But Danny Ings didn't even come on to the substitute in the 70th minute, and he's 14 goals this season in the Premier League. Do you think he starts with Danny Ings?
I think he'll rest him. I think it might be like a Gineppo, might be some Che Adams. He might get a bit of game time.
Formerly of Birmingham, Che Adams, or
formerly of Burnley and Obi Town and Chester United, local Urchi United. Couldn't get game time for Urchi, and I'm thinking they might look at someone like Martin Obafemi as well, because he can play, but he is still very young. So I'm not quite. I think they will make sure that the momentum still goes. They'll probably play more fringe players than youth players.
Yeah, that's what you expect. I'm going to go with a draw on this one.
I'm going Southampton. I think Southampton will do it. Spurs leaked too many goals.
They certainly do. They nearly had a scare the other night.
They did. One big game, which isn't involving Premier League sides, is the game at St Andrews, and that is Coventry versus Birmingham City, because Coventry.
We all know this. We all know this. We all know this.
I'd
love to be there. I'd love to be there.
And Birmingham City are actually the away side. It's a
home v home.
It's caused a lot of drama amongst many people. And it's quite funny and apt that we are at Sixfields at the moment.
Formerly the house of Coventry.
Indeed. So I think Cov,
the good old days,
they are going to be so up for it.
Oh, of course it is.
They are ready.
It's not televised, is it?
No.
That's a shame. That should be a BBC game, if you ask me.
That should be.
Get old Gary Lineker on it.
They don't do Sky on the old FA Cup. Well, we know.
Tell J.K. still rolling.
Right. Slaven Bilic derby. Woo!
West v West. West versus West. What was it? West is West.
The Brom. Ham v Brom. Bromham. It's the Bromham derby.
Brom are winning this, I'm telling you right now.
Well, they're second in. Well, no, they're not second in the league. I'm lying. They're top of the league.
No, they're still top of the league, but they've just like Leeds. Lately, they've missed some quite good opportunities, and that's allowed Nottingham Forest to get in sort of the driving seat.
Well, they're third. I think no, Fulham are third at the moment.
But Nottingham have a game in hand.
Yes, they do.
Nottingham have a game in hand, which would put them third, and I think 3 points. I could be wrong, but I think it's 3 points behind West Brom. So you've got an opportunity to get an automatic promotion.
Yeah.
And I secretly do want Nottingham to go back.
Oh yeah, Forest.
Two Champions Leagues. Come on, you can't.
Yeah, more than what the Arsenal have got. West Ham, they're 17th in the Premier League.
Yeah.
They look like they're in. They are going through a transition period. They got rid of Pellegrini. They've got Moyes back. He's got Pellegrini's players, but he can't get the games. He can't get the games out of them. So I think West Ham are in dire straits, and they've got a good chance of going down. Their next 10 games, they're playing against teams that are not right next to them, or the top.
West Ham won't go down, but there'll be nothing inspiring. And
West Ham won't go down.
West Ham won't go down.
I think they're going.
No, David Moyes will stay there. They'll sack him, getting someone with Eno at the end of it, and will just be a continuous cycle. It's just the West Ham way, it seems, at the moment. I feel for him because they had probably one of the most iconic Premier League grounds.
Yeah, the Bullen. Now it's just worse. It's council owned, isn't it?
Didn't they make a movie out of that with like Batista?
Yes, it was there, wasn't it?
I love that. I never watched it, but I see all the Sky original trailers. I was like, I'm alright.
I'm busy. I've watched Love Island, to be fair.
Don't.
Yeah, it's West Brom being top I think they will feel fine that they can use that momentum to carry on. I think, yeah, I'm going to go with you on that one. I can see West Brom winning that one. I don't think it'll be overly comfortable. I think the scoreline might not necessarily prove the game itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, West Brom, I'm going to go a little cheeky 2-0. 2-0 West Brom.
2-1. Penalty, West Ham. Why? No reason.
Mark Noble. Because he loves taking
Mark Noble, could his ass. Who we got next?
Reading Cardiff, another championship game, 15th versus 13th. Really and truly, can't call it.
I mean, if you try call this, you're lying. Do you know what I mean? Purely based on this information, I'm just going to have to go with the home side.
For a betting man, not myself, but if you are a betting person, I would just put both teams to score. I'll just leave it at that.
What, corner each half?
Yeah, corner each half, 18 somewhere.
I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a draw in this game. But
yeah, I can't see much else happening with that one. Pompey versus Barnsley. Pompey, they're 7th in League One. However, they're only 6 points off the top spot. So that's not a bad situation for them to be
Portsmouth,
in. Really.
FA Cup.
They've won it before.
I'm going with Portsmouth.
They've won it before.
My heart's going over my head. I'm going with Portsmouth here.
Yeah, Barnsley, 4 points from safety in the Championship.
Then my head would be right.
Yeah. There is no way in hell that they will be prioritising the FA Cup. They need to make sure that they make up those 4 points and stay in the Championship, because that's just more money that they'll be losing out on if they do that. Millwall versus Sheffield United.
Sheffield United for me. I think Millwall are always a force and they love the moment of the FA Cup. I see it every year with Millwall in the FA Cup. I think, well, I'd love to see you back in the Premier League, obviously with the West Ham kind of situation. But I just see Chris Wilder, he will never give his players a rest. I saw him against Manchester City, and I tell you what, Sheffield United are this year's Wolves. They're very different to Wolves in terms of Wolves are the closest things you'll get to a top 6 side, which isn't a top 6 side.
Yeah.
But Sheffield are they're a unit. It's what Jose Mourinho used to be, in my opinion. Do you know what I mean? Where you actually couldn't score against them.
He's ruthless.
Yeah.
And, you know, Chrissy Wilder, ex-Cobblers manager as well. So
League 2, League 1, Championship, 6th.
Got Oxford United promoted as well out of the National League, back into the Football League, back into the big stuff. And the other Saturday game at 3 o'clock is Newcastle versus Oxford. Newcastle, one of 1,000 teams in the Premier League on 30 points. They keep nicking results. You know, they got absolutely pummeled by Chelsea and still won 1-0. And they were 2-0 down with 2 minutes to go.
I tell you what, I always want Newcastle to stay up because I think they're just a great club. And I felt for them when they lost Rafa. And then when they got Steve Bruce in, the fans were traumatised. And I get that. If you went from Rafa Benitez, Champions League winner, Championship winner as well, by the way. How many managers can say that? And then you get Steve Bruce, and no offence to Steve, but Steve Bruce has actually done all right, but the football's still poor.
I think Steve Bruce, the issue with Steve Bruce is that he loves going to rivals. So he's managed Birmingham and Villa. He's managed Sunderland and Newcastle. So,
he's a Newcastle boy.
Yeah. But then again, money talks, does it not? You know, if someone offers you a contract on a certain amount of money, you're going to be like, right, okay.
Especially if Newcastle didn't want you.
It's work. You've got to do the job. If you're out of work and you still got to pay the bills.
Just because I know you'd be a Tottenham manager if it was the opportunity, wouldn't you?
I thought you were going to say I was going to leave Briggs and Forrester and go to NG Bailey. I'm not going to do that.
Exactly.
In any way, shape or form.
But I'll be honest with you, purely based on the fact that it's Oxford, and no disrespect to Oxford, I'm going to go with Newcastle.
They're 5th in League One. They're 5th in League One at the moment.
I just think Newcastle will enjoy it.
Yeah, I think so too. Saturday night's game is at the KCOM, is Hull versus Chelsea. What Chelsea team are going to turn up, and what do you expect?
Tammy Abraham's injured. Tammy Abraham's, I think there was originally talk getting Cavani. Even if they did, I think he's come out today. His destination is Atletico Madrid. He wants it to be Atletico Madrid.
Well, if you watch Two at the Top, you'll know that I don't like Cavani because he left Palermo.
It's a good job I don't.
I love when you do a little thing. He left Palermo and it hurt me when he did that. He went to Napoli, started telling everyone, was going, "Oh, Cavani." It's like, well, you left us in the lurch and now we're in like Serie D. And that's not the reason why.
Serie D.
No, we literally are. It's horrible stuff.
I just wish it keeps going to Z.
Oh, yeah, we would be there. We'll be there. Palermo will be there.
All right, where are we?
Jared Bowen, he is the guy for Hull, and Newcastle might be looking at signing him in this window as well. So if he can start and get a game, show a little bit of face, it might not be Newcastle, it might have some other suitors in the Premiership where he could go to. So, well, Premier League as you meant to call it now. Chelsea, 4th in the Premier League, but are they good value for that?
Chelsea are just an incomplete team, that's all it is. I mean, they've had the transfer ban. I think Chelsea play positive football. They just need a transfer window. Frank Lampard's also inexperienced in the top flight, but considering his inexperience, I mean, up until about a month ago, I would have said they're easily going to finish 4th or easily in the top four. Now it's becoming a bit more of a race, and it'll be interesting to see how he does. So I honestly don't think we'll see much. We might see Batshuayi, but I mean, if they play Batshuayi and he gets injured, who else have they got up front? So that's also a risk.
Exactly, they're going to start thinking about the kids. Into Sunday's games, Man City, they'll be playing at home against Fulham. Fulham, they're having a very good season, despite being relegated from the Premier League last year. They're 3rd at the moment. They have played a game more than Nottingham Forest, as we've alluded to. But Fulham, they're looking okay.
I mean, they are looking okay. The problem is they're away at Manchester City. They could be running away with the Championship. They could be record breakers. They're away at Manchester City. That means Phil Foden's going to play and he's going to score 2 goals. And TalkSport are going to say, why is he not starting every week? You know what I mean? It's just how it goes. This is the circle of life.
The last couple of years, Man City, they don't seem to smash teams in the FA Cup. They sort of like struggle over the line a little bit. They had a major issue against Swansea last year where they were 2-0 down at one point, and then in the semi-final, quarter-final against Brighton, they made real hard work out of trying to get there. Quarter-final, wasn't it? Yeah, they made real hard work.
Sorry, Watford did you say?
No, Man City.
No, quarter-final.
They made real hard work trying to get through, and I think they only won the game 1-0. It was like a 4th-minute goal by Jesus. So
quarter-final, semi-final. Sorry,
it was a semi-final.
Semi-final because it was a Wembley game.
It was a Wembley
Watford
game.
were playing Wolves in the other semi-final.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm being an idiot.
That's all right. I'll let you off. I don't think that it will be as straightforward as people will believe, but they will do it.
3-1, I reckon.
I think the scoreline will flatter them.
Yeah,
that's what I believe.
Of course.
Shrewsbury versus Liverpool, that's a Sunday game.
It's going to be a weaker Liverpool side without a shadow of a doubt, but they've proven that they can. There'll be a lot of kids. You expect the likes of, I mean, Ryan Bruce has actually gone to Swansea now, but Harvey Elliott, the young 16-year-old.
Curtis Jones, who I love.
I mean, he scored that unbelievable goal against Everton.
He did.
I mean, but then also, I think Milner's actually injured, but you'll see a lot of young, like Callagher. I think Callagher's the goalkeeper.
Minamino,
Hoover
is still quite new.
Minamino would definitely play, in my opinion. Divock Origi will be the experienced player. Shaqiri's injured. I couldn't tell you straight up who's going to be playing in that team, but it will be a much fresher, younger side because he'll want to have a rest. Because I think Sadio Mane just got injured in the Wolves game. How serious it is, we don't know. The Champions League's going to creep up soon. We're coming to February. Well, I imagine we'll have an international break after March at some point.
I hate international break.
But all we're saying is that there will be changes. But I mean, this Liverpool side have showed that they could beat Premier League opposition. Granted, it's Everton who have a mental block with Liverpool, but
Shrewsbury. What's our Everton?
Yeah, Shrewsbury will give it their best, but I can't see nothing but a Liverpool winner.
Bournemouth versus Arsenal on Monday night. It's at the Vitality. They only played against each other at the Vitality on Boxing Day, which was a 1-1 draw. It was the first game properly that Arteta took charge. Now, are Arsenal going to think about just trying to get wins, or are they thinking of, you know what, we don't really care about the FA Cup, we need to do whatever we can to attempt to get into the top 4, or I don't know what they're going to do.
I'm going with Arsenal purely based on the fact that even though Bournemouth have just come off the back of a 3-1 win against Brighton, which was a vital win, I think they still might be in the bottom 3, but it brings them within a much more reasonable points tally. But I think Mikel Arteta will want Mikel Arteta. That's the English in me. Mikel Arteta, he'd like a trophy under his belt. I mean, they definitely won't be the favourites for the entire competition.
No, not anymore.
But I mean, top 4 looks a little bit out of reach now. So if he wins a trophy, it really shows some good managerial prowess. But I think they'll be the favourites. Bournemouth could surprise us, but I don't think Bournemouth are interested in the FA Cup. They need to stay in the Premier League.
I think Arsenal will play a lot of fringe players. It would be the last game that Aubameyang will be missing through suspension. Holding came off the bench during the week against Chelsea, so I imagine someone like he will start. I'm not quite sure whether they'll play Bellerin again at right back or whether they'll play Maitland-Niles, knowing that Bellerin is now in a fitter state.
Scored.
And he bagged as well, yes he did. So I'm not quite sure what sort of Arsenal side they're going to put out. I'd expect Arsenal to win that sort of game, knowing that Bournemouth are in a relegation battle, and I think they'll be wanting to rest their bigger players for Premier League football.
Makes sense.
Indeed.
So what are you going with this, Arsenal?
Yeah, just nothing major. I'm thinking
2-1.
Yeah, maybe 1-0. Might even see a clean sheet going on there as well.
Fortunately, we're shooting this on a Thursday night, and tonight we've had an FA Cup third round replay between Tranmere League One and Nigel Pearson's Watford.
Well, it wasn't actually a replay. The first game was called off because of waterlogged pitch, and my pal, he's a Watford fan, and he was on his way to the
That's so true. Yeah, that's so true.
he got called off. He had to turn around and come home.
What was it? Was it Storm Brendan or whatever it was?
Yeah, Brendan. Yeah,
good old Brendan Rodgers.
Yeah, there was literally like little leprechauns all over the place.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, Tranmere, they've done them.
2-1. 2-1. League One Tranmere have beat Premier League side Watford.
Yeah, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. There was a few changes. I think Watford, after the result that they got during the week against Villa, their priorities have changed again, and they was like, hold on a minute, yeah, we've had a great run of form, but now we have to think about staying in the Premier League.
Yeah,
they're back in the bottom three, and that is where their sole focus is. But end of the day, it's Tranmere. You know,
Tranmere Rovers, mate.
Only a couple of seasons ago, they were playing in the National League. So the fact that they've come back, they've got promoted from League Two into League One. They're about 16th, 17th in League One, so they're not doing too great in there.
Of course
but
not.
It's a payday now, and they are now playing against Manchester United.
That's what the FA Cup's all about.
I love the FA Cup.
But let's get to that game, which we now know is going to happen. What do you think?
Well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had a vote of confidence earlier on today.
So that means he's going to get sacked.
Yeah, exactly. You remember that when you play like Football Manager, and it's like, oh, the board will give you a vote of confidence. Well, I don't remember it because I've always been successful on Football Manager. But just saying. But Manchester United, I don't think they can really afford to put a weakened team out.
Yeah.
I think they have to put a relatively strong side out. It's going to be on the telly box as well. They have to go out and make sure they beat Tranmere and be in the 5th round of the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Ollie's done.
Yeah, I think Man United will win this. I think they'll have a little bit too much for Tranmere, but
I don't think Tranmere have got it in
United
them to play
don't
2
look the
games
greatest
in 3
side
days.
in the world at the moment. I mean, they've lost Rashford, Daniel James is exhausted. Wan-Bissaka seems to be extremely out of form.
Daniel James hasn't scored in the last 19 games.
He's played too many games. I mean, I think it was his first season in the Championship last year, and now it's his first season in the Premier League. And
he wasn't expected to be playing so many games.
He started well, but
3 goals in 4 games.
I mean, David De Gea won't play. I mean, he's had a terrible time of late, considering we used to call him the best goalkeeper in the world.
He never was.
A story for another time, though.
Yeah.
I know you're a Jan Oblak fan.
Yeah, I'm massively Jan Oblak. But Handanovic, you know, like there's so many goalkeepers that are way better at just commanding their box. If you can command your box, that automatically puts you in a decent level of goalkeeperage, if you want to call it that. I can't see De Gea being a top goalkeeper anymore. Sergio Romero will start this game.
Of course he will.
He loves it. They love to play
good goalkeeper.
Games. He's the best number 2 in the Premier League right now.
I used to think that of Caballero, but I'm gonna have to go with I'm gonna have to go with United on this one.
Yeah, Man United.
But I wouldn't expect much from United in the entire tournament.
No, I think even if they play against a Championship side in the next round, because I am safely assuming that they will get through the 4th round. If they play against a Championship side, I imagine that they'll go out and then they'll focus on trying to.
Top 4 is still an option. I think they're also 6 points.
Yeah.
Similar to Tottenham. But that's all I can say about that. I think Man United should go through. Probably won't go through the next round based on the team they get, but I think that's all I can say.
Indeed. So yeah, that's the roundup of the FA Cup. So there's plenty of games out there. There's a lot of opportunities for banana skins, lower ranked sides being able to get through.
The mighty cobblers.
The mighty
cobblers.
It feels weird. I don't want cobblers to win. I expect them to win.
You expect them to win
because it's the FA Cup, and
course.
that's what the joy and the spirit of the FA Cup is all about.
Well, it's been brilliant. Thank you for tuning in. We are the fans too up top.
All the best.